Hi, Kevin Henry, the Group Editorial Director for UBM Medica's Dental Division, and I'm on a Google Hangout today with my friend and the front desk lady, Lisa Marie Spradley. How are you doing today, Lisa Marie?
I am doing great. How are you today, Kevin?
All good. Always good when I can chat with you and learn a little bit about all that knowledge that's inside that head of yours. So, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to share some of it with our viewers.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm always happy to talk to you and to the viewers.
Well, let's talk about something that seems pretty common sense, and yet you and I both know is dropped and boggled and jumbled so many times, and that's that new patient phone call. What
hmm
are you seeing out there as common mistakes that are made, or how can practice improve whenever a new patient calls the practice?
Well, I think the biggest disconnect that I'm seeing is that a lot of times the people that are brought into the front are not trained at all. They're given a script and they're told to read it. So they come off sounding disingenuine. I mean, just like they have absolutely no interest in what they're doing and they're not building a relationship. And it's so funny because I see a lot of things out there now. I've seen reports that, you should never pick up the phone on the first ring. It makes people think that you're not busy. And, really, because when my phone rings, I want to pick it up. I want that patient to know they're my number one priority. They don't care how busy I am. They just want to know that I'm taking care of them. So, and then you see other things where, people just do the script, no variances. You can only say what's on there. Well, we're not all a cookie cutter world. So we have to be able to, my whole approach to it is listen to what the patient's telling you. So when I have a practice call me and say, okay, what can you do to help me? What kind of script can you send me? Well, I don't have a script to send you. We have to sit down and figure out what works best for your practice, what sounds most not rehearsed, but most genuine, I guess, for your team. What are they comfortable saying? And when you get to that, then they're going to actually be able to sound like they care, and they're going to build that relationship. And that's what it's all about, building the relationship from the first phone call.
It's funny you mentioned that. You can tell when people are being very robotic and they're following exactly what is in front of them and they're not
Mm.
going any further than that. And I will tell you, as a person, that kind of puts me off a little bit. That I'm like, oh my gosh, if this person doesn't know any more anything than what's in that paper in front of them, that kind of worries me a little bit.
Most definitely. And I mean, it's a lesson that, we all have to learn the hard way, unfortunately. We've all done or said things that we shouldn't on the telephone. So I'm just going at this from what I would want to hear. Like you said, having had the worst case scenarios given to me, I want to make sure that I put forth the best for not only the practice that I'm in, but for the practices that I'm coaching. I want them to be able to, there are more than enough patients out there for every dental clinic. I realize we're all in a competition, but when you think of the amount of people that are not having dental care, there's more than enough patients for all of us to succeed if we'll just put forth the effort.
You said a minute ago, you talked about listening, and I think that that's an art that's kind of lost in today's world. Honestly, we're all so busy and we're all moving so fast that a lot of times we don't actually take a moment to actually hear what the other person is saying. And I know some dental practices, unfortunately, get caught up in the roller skates and running from operatory to operatory. And how do you slow down enough just to actually hear what the other person is saying?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that brings me to like one of the things I'm most passionate about, and that is putting value in the dental front office team. So I think a lot of times this starts when the dentist or dental team doesn't actually have either like a person who's primarily at the front desk, maybe it's the assistant who's pulling, double duty, or there's only one person at the front office desk and it's a pretty busy practice. When we're not putting value in those team members and giving them the training and the skills to be able to sit down and actually listen to what the patient's telling them, then they don't have the skills and they don't have the time. So the best way to actually get the team members to listen to the conversation is to value what they do, give them the training that they need, and then allow them to actually do it. I think a lot of times we give this power to our team and then we take it away. Okay, we want you to do this, this, and this. Oh, but you only have 1 minute because you got to hurry up and file this insurance claim or whatever it is. Actually invest in your team's training to be able to do what it is you want them to do.
That's so good to hear, because I know so often we talk about patient education and educating the patient, and yet there's members of the team that I feel like are kind of left out of the dark as far as, you know, what's going on in the back. And if somebody asks me a question, what's the correct answer? You know, and so there seems like there's a gap in communication sometimes.
There is, and it's the value is important to me because I think that while we of course offer CE for the hygienist and the doctor and the assistants can get it, there's really not a lot of CE for the front office team unless you're a member of ADOM. And you know, not every practice is even aware that ADOM exists. How sad is that? So just getting that information out there that there are you know, venues available for the front office team to earn CE and to actually continue to educate themselves just like everyone else in the dental clinic does.
It's a great point. And, you know, a lot of times, a lot of people within the practice go, oh my gosh, nobody else in the entire dental world has ever gone through this problem that I'm going through right now. I wonder how I should solve it. And it's so good to know that we're not all little islands out there. I mean, you know, whatever you do in the practice, there's a national association that can help you. And ADOM is obviously such a great resource for the office managers and the front desk.
Oh gosh, most definitely. I mean, you know, I know I'm preaching from to the bandwagon here, but it's helped me tremendously. I actually found them online, thinking that, like you said, I was the only one who had this problem, so I thought I'd just Google the answer, and I stumbled across it, and it's been wonderful for me ever since. And I think that when teams and doctors start understanding the importance of the front office role, I mean, because we don't just answer phones, you know, we don't just walk people out. We actually play a key role in the whole dental experience. And when they put the value on the role that we have in there, then I think that's when everything starts clicking. That's when your team members actually engage and want to be a part of the whole experience. You know, they want to learn more about the patients.
Absolutely. And again, folks, this is coming from a former office manager of the year. So, I mean, you can't get more higher praise than that for the front desk. And speaking of the front desk, I believe you are the front desk lady. Is that not right, my friend?
Oh yeah, that's what they tell me. I actually have, you know, it's amazing to me when I started this, you know, I had a lot of people that kind of gave me a little bit of slack about that. They're like, "Oh, we're not a piece of furniture." I'm like, it's a title. It's meant to have fun. So, but I have a website, frontdesklady.com. I'm on Facebook. You know, everything is pretty much Front Desk Lady. I love what I do, and I love not only, like you said, educating patients, but also educating the team and helping them feel that all important value.